The draft is one of the most exciting parts of the NBA season. Young players finally get to see their hard work pay off in front of their families and the entire world. NBA franchises and their fan bases are excited for which young prospect the team will select. Striking gold in the NBA draft can set a team up for future success, while missing on your picks can set your team backwards. Today's video will be the third full first round mock draft on this channel. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. But before we continue, please like the video and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a banger. Now let's get started. With the first pick, the Pistons select Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State. This should come as a shock to no one, as Cade is the can't-miss #1 prospect in this entire draft. He's an oversized point guard at 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan, and he's dominant on both ends of the floor. On offense, he's an excellent slasher that can absorb contact and still finish, an excellent shooter, and he's a next-level playmaker. On defense, his size and athleticism make him a great perimeter defender, and he's also a terrific rebounder. The Pistons now have a potential superstar to build around, which changes everything for them. With the second pick, the Rockets select Jalen Green out of the G League Ignite. Green is an unstoppable scorer with freakish athleticism and killer instinct. He can easily blow by defenders and finish with highlight reel dunks, and he's also got a nice outside game where he can knock down his threes at a high rate. The Rockets now have a potential superstar to add to their impressive young core. With the third pick, the Cavs select Evan Mobley out of USC. Mobley is a unicorn-level prospect. He's a legit 7-footer with shooting, ball handling, and passing skills. And on defense, he's an excellent shot blocker that can also switch onto the perimeter and hold his own. The Cavaliers have been a bottom feeder ever since LeBron left, but Mobley could be the franchise player that gets them back on track. With the fourth pick, the Raptors select Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga. Suggs played extremely well in the NCAA tournament and led Gonzaga to the championship game. He's a big point guard at 6'4", and he thrives on both ends of the court. On offense, he's an excellent slasher and strong playmaker, and on defense, he's a tough, physical, on-ball defender. With Lowry likely out, the Raptors land their point guard of the future. With the fifth pick, the Magic select Jonathan Kuminga out of the G League Ignite. Kuminga is an athletic 6'8" small forward with a 6'11" wingspan. On offense, he's an excellent slasher that can finish at the hoop at a high level, while on defense, he's an excellent man-to-man defender that can guard multiple positions. He still needs to develop his outside game, but he's got potential to be a great two-way player, making him a nice choice for the Magic. With the sixth pick, the OKC Thunder select Scotty Barnes out of Florida State. Barnes has excellent size for the small forward position at 6'9" with a 7'2" wingspan, and he has a really good all-around game. He's got a strong handle and finishes at the hoop really well, and he's also a good playmaker, and he brings energy on the defensive end where he can guard multiple positions. Barnes needs to develop an outside shot, but an all-star upside is clearly there. The rebuilding Thunder will take Scotty Barnes if he's there with the sixth pick, and they won't think twice about it. With the seventh pick, the Warriors select James Bouknight out of UConn. Bouknight is a 6'5" shooting guard that can score on all three levels. He can break down defenders off the dribble and get all the way to the rim, or create space for his pull-up jumper. The Warriors could use some more scoring outside of Steph Curry, and Bouknight is one of the best pure scorers in this draft class. And at just 20 years old, the potential to be an elite player is clearly there. With the eighth pick, the Magic select Moses Moody out of Arkansas. The rebuilding Magic were one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league last year, and Moody is a knockdown shooter. He's really good at coming off screens for catch-and-shoot opportunities, and he isn't just a shooter, as he can also put the ball on the floor and score at the rim, or get to his mid-range pull-up. On defense, he's an excellent defender, and at 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan, he should be able to guard multiple positions at the next level. With the ninth pick, the Kings select Jalen Johnson out of Duke. Johnson is a 6'9" small forward with high potential on both ends of the court. On defense, he's a lanky defender that can guard multiple positions and tends to get a lot of blocks and steals. And on offense, he's a good ball handler that can get all the way to the rim, and he's a pretty strong passer. The Kings will take him for his upside, and they desperately need guys who can play defense, so Johnson is a nice fit. With the 10th pick, the Pelicans select Davion Mitchell, aka Off Night, out of Baylor. Davion Mitchell is considered by many scouts as the best point guard in this draft after Suggs and Cade. He's an elite defender that does a really good job of hounding his man. He can also get to the basket, and he shot the three ball really well for Baylor last year. The Pelicans certainly need three-point shooting and defense, and Lonzo Ball could be on his way out if somebody offers him a huge contract, so this is a nice choice for them. With the 11th pick, the Charlotte Hornets selects Kai Jones out of Texas. Kai Jones is an athletic 6'11" center with the potential to be a good modern big. On defense, he can rebound, switch onto the perimeter, and block shots. And on offense, he's an excellent screen setter and lob catcher while showing flashes of being able to handle and shoot the three. The Hornets need a center with Zeller and Biyombo set to be free agents, so Jones is a nice fit. With the 12th pick, the Spurs select Alperen Sengun out of Turkey. Sengun could be the Spurs' answer to their center problems. He's an extremely skilled big that has really good footwork and touch down low, and he passes extremely well out of the post. He also has shooting range out to the three. He dominated the Turkish league at just 18 years old. If Sengun reaches his full potential, he could be the steal of the draft for the San Antonio Spurs. With the 13th pick, the Pacers select Corey Kispert out of Gonzaga. Kispert can immediately come in and help a playoff team as he's one of the best three-point shooters in this draft. He shot 44% on his threes to his last year at Gonzaga. He's also capable of scoring off the dribble if run off the three-point line. The Pacers could use a three-point specialist, especially if Doug McDermott leaves, making him a nice fit. With the 14th pick, the Warriors select Zaire Williams out of Stanford. Williams brings excellent size for a small forward at 6'9" with a 6'11" wingspan, and he has a very intriguing upside. He can break down defenders or create his own jumper off the bounce, and while he did shoot the ball poorly at Stanford, his 80% free throw percentage would suggest that his shooting is bound to improve. Williams is a nice high upside talent for the Warriors to select at pick number 14. With the 15th pick, the Washington Wizards select Usman Garuba out of Spain. Garuba is one of the best defensive bigs in this draft. He may be short for a center at 6'8", but he's got a long 7'3" wingspan, and he plays with a ton of energy. He's a great rim protector that can also switch onto the perimeter, and offensively he won't do much, but he finishes well inside the basket, and he has some passing skills. Washington really lacks a defensive presence at center, making Garuba a pretty nice fit. With the 16th pick, the OKC Thunder select Josh Giddey out of the NBL. The Thunder are potentially getting a steal here with Giddey with the 16th pick. Giddey is a 6'8" point guard with next-level passing skills. He also gets to the basket well and can finish, but he needs to get better as an outside shooter. The rebuilding Thunder need high upside prospects, and a backcourt of Giddey and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could be absolutely insane. With the 17th pick, the Grizzlies select Franz Wagner. Wagner isn't a high upside prospect, but he can step in right away and help out a playoff team. Wagner is an excellent defender that can guard multiple positions, and he's a solid shooter, ball handler, and passer. Wagner is a glue guy that won't need the ball a lot, but will contribute to winning basketball, which is exactly what Memphis needs. With the 18th pick, the OKC Thunder go with Keon Johnson out of Tennessee. Johnson is another high upside prospect that OKC will be happy to take. He's a freak athlete that measured with a monster 48-inch vertical at the draft combine. He can get to the basket and finish at the rim, and he also uses that athleticism on the defensive end where he's a very good perimeter defender. He still needs to develop offensively, but OKC is getting another high ceiling prospect here. With the 19th pick, the Knicks select Sharif Cooper out of Auburn. The Knicks have been looking for a long-term point guard for years now, and Cooper could be the answer. He's an absolute speed demon that defenders can't figure out how to stay in front of, and he's one of the best passers in this draft, as he's coming off a year averaging 8 assists per game. Cooper still lacks a good outside shot, so for a playoff team like the Knicks, it would make sense to play him behind a veteran next season. With the 20th pick, The Hawks select Cameron Thomas out of LSU. Thomas is a very skilled combo guard that can score at an elite level. He's coming off a year where he averaged 23 points per game. He's a really good shot creator off the dribble, whether getting all the way to the basket or creating space for a pull-up jumper. He can be a spark plug off the bench for the Hawks. It takes some pressure off Trae Young. With the 21st pick, the Knicks select Trey Murphy out of Virginia. Murphy can come in and help out any playoff team. At 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, he can defend multiple positions, and he shot a very good 43% from 3 last season. Murphy could be a very nice 3-and-D player for the Knicks to have off their bench next year. With the 22nd pick, the Lakers select Trey Mann out of Florida. Trey Mann is a 6'5" combo guard that's an absolute bucket. He's a shifty ball handler that can get all the way to the rim or create space for his mid-range pull-up. He's also a sniper from downtown, as he shot 40% from 3 last year. The Lakers need scoring outside of LeBron and AD, making him a pretty nice fit. With the 23rd pick, the Rockets select JT Thor out of Auburn. Thor is a young, energetic big with good size at 6'10" with a 7'1" wingspan. He really gets after it defensively, where he can not only protect the rim at a high level, but also switch onto the perimeter. And on offense, he won't do much outside of catch lobs, but he has flash potential to shoot and handle the ball. Thor is a nice young prospect for the Rockets to take late in the first round. With the 24th pick, the Rockets select Jaden Springer out of Tennessee. Springer is one of the youngest players in this draft at just 18 years old, and he already thrives on both ends of the court. He's an excellent defender where his good size at 6'4" with a 6'6" wingspan help him, and on offense, he can really score off the dribble and shoot the 3-ball. Springer can potentially be Houston's point guard of the future, and he can learn a lot from playing behind John Wall next season. With the 25th pick, the Clippers select Jared Butler out of Baylor. Butler is a 6'3" combo guard that does a lot of things really well on the court. He's a knockdown 3-point shooter, he can defend, and he can score and play make. As long as he's cleared to play after his heart problem, he should be a nice fit for LA. The Clippers need a legit playmaker, and Butler could be that and more for them. With the 26th pick, the Nuggets select Chris Duarte out of Oregon. Duarte is an NBA-ready prospect who can help out a contender like Denver immediately. He's a knockdown shooter that hit 42% of his threes last year and an excellent defender. A solid 3-and-D player is what Denver needs right now, so he's a solid fit. With the 27th pick, the Nets select Isaiah Jackson out of Kentucky. Jackson is one of the best defenders in this draft class. He's a great shot blocker, and thanks to his athleticism, he's also a solid perimeter defender. Offensively, Jackson is a pretty good screen setter and lob catcher. The Nets were a mediocre rebounding and defensive team last year, so they could use some size, making Jackson a nice fit. With the 28th pick, the Sixers take Bones Hyland out of VCU. Hyland is a scoring point guard that can really light it up from downtown. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in this draft off the bounce, and he can also get to the basket and finish. Philly suffered from a lack of scoring off their bench last year, making Bones a pretty solid fit. With the 29th pick, the Suns select Greg Brown out of Texas. Brown is an athletic 6'9" big man that can rebound at a high level and protect the rim. And on offense, he can knock down outside shots and finish at the rim. The Suns could use some more size with Dario Saric probably out for all of next year with a torn ACL, so I like this pickup for them. With the 30th pick, Utah takes Miles McBride out of West Virginia. McBride is a super lanky point guard that defends extremely well. On offense, he can get to the basket, pass, and he also shoots the 3 at a high percentage. McBride can be a nice backup point guard to Mike Conley, and he can also improve their perimeter defense, which ended up being their Achilles heel in the playoffs this year. Anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Do you like my picks? Who do you want your team to select in the NBA draft? Tell me in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see more draft content. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.